Customers are a really important stakeholder of business. We've got all these stakeholders to consider. We've done the internal environment ones, okay? Now we're looking at sort of the next level of the environment. So these are factors within our environment that we have a little bit of control over, but not much. What about customers? Well, the obvious thing is to say is, well, customers buy the product from the business. We'll just be a little bit nuanced with that. When we get to operations management, we're going to look at the difference between goods. So like a laptop or a phone, clothing, boots, whatever. They are tangible, mass-produced and standardized. We'll explain what these mean much later, so don't worry. Or it could be a service, like a doctor, a hairdresser, a plumber, a builder. And these services are intangible, produced in small batches and customized. But we'll talk about that much later. Customers buy the product from the business in return for money, obviously, and that is why they're so important. So, what are the direct or vested interests of customers, though? How do they impact the business, and how does the business impact them? Well, we could summarize this by saying customers want to buy quality goods from the business. Quality doesn't mean like the best. That's a different thing when we look at operations, okay? If you buy a car and you want the best possible quality car, you might buy a Mercedes, for example, but for a lot of people, you can't afford that. So you buy an entry-level Toyota, very cheap. But we're saying it's got to be good quality. It's still, a good quality for the price is what we're saying. And that's our second thing. We want to purchase a product at a reasonable price, which is often a trade-off with quality, okay? You want, a really, the best smartphone out there, you'll get the new iPhone or the new Galaxy, okay? But if you want, like, say, just an entry-level phone, you just get a flip phone Nokia. Go into your local Woolworths and they sell them at the counter. Okay, well, it's a reasonable price and I expect a level of quality that meets that price. Customers, a lot of them, not all of them, want to receive customer service. Even buying online, we still want service, or particularly if we're in a shop, we want a lot of service. Some people don't, but it's a lot of customers do. A lot of customers want to identify with the brand of the business. They are, say, Apple customers or Nike customers. That's the only brand they buy in that product category. That's a huge direct or vested interest. And lastly, a lot of customers want to buy from a business that is ethical and socially responsible. This topic is also about CSR, so let's talk about that in a little more detail. Specifically, what do customers want from corporate, from a CSR perspective from the business? They want a business that produces the product in an ethical and socially responsible way. They also want products which benefit or don't harm society. If you're an ethical customer, okay, you're probably going to buy, say, toilet paper that's recycled. You want a product that's better for the environment than one that is not. Or if you want to buy, say, something like a new smartphone, for example, you'll buy the one. And this is actually coming out, we'll talk about it later in the year, an ethical smartphone made from 100% recyclable materials. Well, Apple's working on that. That's a product that's going to benefit and doesn't harm society. You also might want to buy from businesses that treat workers of the business ethically. So if you find out the business that you do buy from treats its workers poorly, you probably won't shop there anymore if you're an ethical or socially responsible customer. And lastly, a lot of customers want to be provided with the opportunity to support social causes with their purchases. So for example, at Officeworks, they say, do you want to round up? You spent $78. Do you want to round that up to $80? And we'll give the extra $2 to a charity. And that's huge now. A lot of customers want to do good with their money, so they don't mind paying a little bit extra to give to the business and hope that the business then helps a social cause.